This is Jackie with Inthekeyofchange.com. I am with the gentleman of Coma at the lovely, I can't emphasize how nice the weather is today.
So nice. It is so wonderful out. We just get to sit and hang out and enjoy the little bit of wind and everything too. It's so nice.
So other than the atmosphere, the physical atmosphere, what are some other highlights from being here and playing at South by Southwest?
I think we've said it the past couple days, like we've been to festivals, we've played some festivals here and there, and this is the only one that I think does it right. It feels more catered to the fans. You know, it's like not only do you cater towards the fans, but you have local businesses that are like kind of thriving, and it's focused on the city, which is an amazing city. We've never been here, so this is our first year. It's absolutely beautiful, but also it feels like the right way to do a festival. It feels like you can walk around and go, oh, that band sounds cool. And that's the couple showcases we played so far have been people just kind of like show up all of a sudden, and it's like, whoa, okay. They just kind of hear what you're doing and kind of walk in. So I think it's cool. I think it's a festival actually catered for the fans as opposed to standing out in the heat and like just getting, sunned on at Warped Tour for hours, I think that's probably one of the coolest things so far. What do you think?
I mean, you kind of covered it.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a cool place to be.
Are there any downsides?
Okay, so while it might be a festival for the fans, the bands, I think if you're not playing on like a giant stage, we've been like walking our gear on this little rickety dolly of sorts, and its wheels are so sad and small, so every little bump is like, ugh, and all our gear just kind of slides off. We're like, no. So it's been fun loading in. I think that's really the only thing we've been nervous for. Every day is like, oh god, we got to load in today. How's this going to happen? And then once we get our gear in the venue, it's like, okay. And then parking is not fun, because we've actually toured down California to get to San Diego and then shot over through El Paso and through Texas. And so we brought all of our gear, but we're playing shows with backlines, so we're not using all of our gear. So while we're in any venue at any point here, we're kind of also going like, oh god, all our gear's in the van that's parked like, however many blocks away. So I don't know. It's kind of worrisome, but it's been cool so far. It's been really good. If that's the only downside, it's pretty darn good, I think.
I'm sure the weather puts you in a better mood.
Oh, absolutely. How can you be mad when it feels like this? Absolutely.
Agreed. So how do you sort of leave your thumbprint here at South by Southwest, where fans go home and say, I've bought a ton of albums, but this is the one I have to listen to, or this is the one I tweet about or tell my friends about?
Yeah.
I think the best way that we've actually gone about it is just, we perform as like 100%, and a lot of people have come up to us, like, it's kind of flattering, like people have come up to us and said like, you guys were the best band that I've seen this entire time. And we're not really that well known of a band yet. We've only been around for a couple of years, and this is our first South by Southwest. And more than anything, we just want to make that physical connection with people, and we just want to make sure that like we want to break down that artist and fan barrier and be like, you know what, we're your friend too. We want to develop a relationship with you. We're not above you by any means. We just want to make sure that, the interaction between the two of us is lasting and impactful.
I think the other big thing is we've been playing and have a big banner that we put up behind this, because that's one of the things we've seen other bands that are playing, they say their name, but it's so loud. So we have a big banner that's behind us with our logo that you see all over the place. And then make sure actually after we play, we hand out download cards of our album for free. I think that's kind of the big thing. It's like, we're not trying to make money right now, especially down here. We're really just trying to get people to hear what we're doing. So to his point, be it at our showcases or other bands showcases that we like, we're kind of going around and going like, hey, either to other bands, we love what you're doing, and talking to other band members that are kind of more reachable while you're down here, and kind of handing them our music and telling them how we love their stuff. And then fans that are there watching them, we're like, hey, if you like what they're doing, you might like what we're doing. We're trying to not make it like, here's our card, check us out. But actually having a good interaction with someone, to his point, and then handing them like a free download, I think is kind of hopefully a lasting impression, enough to make them come out if they're in our area ever or something like that. So
what keeps you guys going?
Coffee?
No. I was going to say you guys toured down California to be here, so how do you sort of keep chugging along?
I think that honestly the best way to say it is like we're like best friends, we're like a family, and like families fight, but we get over things really, really quickly. I think that we're really good about having our business faces and our personal faces, so that like whenever we're loading or whatever, we get really intense with each other just because we need to make sure that like, you know, this is going at this place and this is going this place and this is this time and all that sort of stuff. And we've kind of, you know, we've been friends for so long and we've been doing this for so long that we have gotten past that point of like, okay, well, I'm going to get offended by some little quirky or snarky remark about something when it's just meant to be like, okay, you know, I want you to do this, I don't want you to do that, and this is how I want things to go. And of course, you know, like coffee really helps. But I think that like one of the things that's helped us at South by is like we kind of, we drive up the street and we have like sort of a regroup session and we just kind of chill and lie down and just, you know, like we'll go into a Starbucks and, you know, we'll check our email or, you know, surf the web or whatever. And I think that, you know, having that sort of reset place in South by Southwest is absolutely pivotal for having people like get the best impression of you.
Yeah, because then you're not grumpy all day. We walked around for the past couple of days and have just been like finding the bands we want to see and our friends' bands that are playing. And yeah, after like 5 or 6 hours of walking, it's just like, okay, I got to go take a chill pill and just kind of like, you know, lay down or sit or something. That's why, yeah, we got to sit when we came here today, and it was so nice to sit for a little bit and just relax. So yeah, definitely finding a place to reset and just kind of chill out has been really rewarding for this trip, definitely.
I can imagine.
On our legs.
So, tell me about new music. When is it coming out?
We just spent the last probably couple months. We actually, go off topic a little bit. We've spent the first part of January going on a tour for 2 weeks. We played 18 shows in 14 days. Kind of sounds weird. We did kind of
sounds like a blast.
Yeah, right. It was really fun. I loved it. I'll do it again. We played high schools every morning and then clubs every night on certain days. So it got busy, but right when we came back from that, we kind of started or kept writing. We had some songs in the works. It actually had a drummer come out from Nashville and kind of do some recording here and there for pre-production, and kind of ended up with 2 songs that we feel really strongly about that aren't quite being released, but we're kind of giving people a preview of them.
It's a lot of a lot of the people that are going to hear the new material first are like yourself and just press and industry folk and all that sort of stuff, because we want to make sure that we have a great plan to release something. I don't think we have like a definite like this is when it's going to be out by any means, because we want to make sure that the way that we release it is the way that we want to release it, and we want to make sure that it's the best foot that we can put forward. If anything, I would say that the new music is a lot more, it's a lot more human than I think the last parts of our music have been, because everything that we've done thus far has been self-recorded. It's been difficult to take the step back and be like, I need to accept the humanness in my playing and the humanness in my voice. And, you know, being your own producer is very hard to be like, okay, you know, when is it that I say like, this is good, this is where it needs to be, that's enough feeling. And I think that this new stuff is, it's a lot more positive too. Not to say that our last music was negative by any means, but I think that it's a lot more uplifting rather than contemplative and moody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to, maybe I'll give you 3 more adjectives.
Okay.
To describe either your new sound or to new listeners.
I think relatable. Lyrically, to expand on a little bit, the lyrics that he's written are very close to home for him. And I think anyone who listens to it, a lot of our lyrics try to be a little vague. And you really never try to like hammer home like this is what the song's about. So you can really relate to it and listen to it and go, okay, yeah, you know, this, I've been in that boat, or I can relate to this really well.
I would definitely say that the new stuff is a lot more close to the chest as far as the content and the lyrics go. I think that another word that I would use to describe it, let's see, relatable. I think that another good word might be uplifting, because it's got a very positive overtone to it. It's really, really anthemic, I think. I think that a lot of people will find the content is very, very accessible, and it's not, you know, like we're not dealing with such esoteric themes as our last music was. So, yeah, I think that, I also think it's really authentic. I think it's very representative of who we are, more so than anything else we've ever done. And I think that that's the greatest part about being in this band with our, like my best friends, is the fact that like we get to grow together and we get to, write new music together, and we get to sort of go on this great journey together, like, just as people and as musicians and all that sort of stuff. And I think that it's a huge growth for us.
Well, I wish you well.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the rest of the festival. This is Jackie with Inthekeyofchange.com, and I'm here with Coma.